And can you talk a little bit about, so in 2016 is when you made your first Olympic trials. Can you talk a little bit about that experience and what you learned about yourself then? Because you were 2 years out from the World Championship. You were with your new coach at that point.
Yes.
What was it like?
Hey, it was not like junior world championships. I got out there, everybody seemed to know what they were doing. And 2016, I think going into the trials, 4 of us had the standard, me included. And then at the trials, Anika McPherson jumped the standard as well. So there was a total of 5 of us with the standard fighting for 3 spots. And I think I was 20 when I went to my first trial. So my focus and my attention to detail weren't as sharp as they are now. But at least I was able to go in 2016 to, get my feet wet, to see what the experience is like, to help me now for, this past Olympic trials.
And what is like when you're down and when you're down at the high jump, was it pit? High jump? I guess you call it pit.
Yeah.
Pit, yeah. But just down in like that area, what is the atmosphere kind of like with everybody? Because you kind of just have to wait around and like you some people will pass these heights, some people will take these heights. What is sort of the atmosphere with competitors? Are you kind of just like chilling, like talking to nobody? Are you guys conversing about, or just going to your coach? What is it like for you?
See, in 2016, that's what was so hard for me, because people weren't conversing. And that was the first time, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't know if I should not be goofy then. I compete best when I'm happy. Yeah. But, and it was some sight games. Shantae Lowe, also IE native.
Dang, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
She a legend. And she a legend.
She went to North or King, one of the two.
She was in our league too.
Yeah, come on, guys.
We messing up, Aaron. We messing up.
That's what I'm here for. So
hey, thank you.
But she in warm-ups scissored 5'8". In the competition, you're not ever going to do that. But I know it was a sight game saying like, look, I can do this. So it was a lot, and obviously it was a lasting impression, because 5 years later, I still remember that.
That's beast.
Yeah,
that's
right.
So beast. That's such a flex. It's like, let me just show y'all what y'all working with.
Might as well just flex right when she was done.
That's
but 2021, this trials was so different for me, because I was now savvy to what other high jumpers do. I was now able to be content with myself and not have to talk to anybody else to get joy or anything like that. I was able to also play strategic games. So it was, and what was also really delightful was having the younger group. In 2016, I was the younger group.
Yeah.
This go around, I wasn't. So it was kind of cool to be an example.
I was wondering right now too, like, since you were at the trials at 20, typically when someone says that, they're in college at that moment, so they're competing year round. What was like, because you were jumping at a pro level, because you hit the standard. What kind of meets were you going to? Were you still technically with Chafee, or you were training with Sue and Austin at that time?
Yeah, so I was just an unattached athlete. I had actually hit that Olympic standard in 2016, which was 194, I think, at the Texas Relays. So, I wasn't going to any professional grade competitions. I ran into Vashti Cunningham rarely. But, like I said, there was a bigger, or it was better, I don't want to say better. There was different competition back then, because you had Liz Patterson, Anika McPherson, Shantae Lowe, and you would see them randomly at different meets. So here and there, you would get a professional feel.
And at that time as well, like, how was it just being like that unattached like athlete, like definitely as like a jumper athlete as well? Because like going there at like 20 years old, just to Austin, like Aaron was saying, not being that college athlete, if you're still in college, you're still getting like that professional trainer like with you everywhere you go, and you're getting some per diem as well. Like all that stuff is still coming. Like if you're in NCAA,
and just And just the attention, because like she may have won NCAAs, like if she was in college,
Right.
she would have
I
been.
mean, I probably
winning.
would have, hands down.
Yeah.
Let them know. Let them know.
Yeah.
Let 'em know.
Yeah. My bad. I'm being disrespectful over here.
But no, I mean, to this day, not competing as a collegiate track and field athlete does still have its moments where it's like, oh man, I was just talking to my coach about this a couple weeks ago, that even when it comes to my body and knowing what it needs, how to rehab it, I'm still a little new to it because I didn't have all of the trainers and, you know, machines that college kids have. I was with ice baths and Epsom salt baths, you know, and I'm sure there's more than that. So I'm still learning to this day. It's, you know, gear was one thing. I was just like, Coach Sue, I'm out there and Old Navy stuff, you know, everybody's out there in Adidas, Nike, and like, I just feel like an outcast. So it was a lot of mental.
That was that an advantage to you though, like feeling like an outcast at times, like knowing that you're from a different, like, what's the I'm looking for a saying, it's like on the tip of my tongue. You're chopped from a different block, something like that. Cut from a different cloth. Come on now, thanks, Aaron. Okay, from a different cloth.
I got what you were saying. Yeah, I could have looked at it like that, and I think as I get older, I am more able to look at it like that. But back then, it was just like a reminder of like, oh, Rachel, you dropped this scholarship. Like, you could be here too with all this cool college stuff and all, you know, everything paid for. So it was just a sense of belonging, especially coming from a team sport, you know, and it's rare where you find an elite high jumper that you train with. So it was really just me and my coach for years, you know, so finding a belonging was really important to me.